The first full day of the women's tournament is completed. We had one upset and a whole lot of hooping. Roz, Ice, Cass here to give you our top takeaways of the day. All right, so we're going to start with the view from the top. Taking a look at two of the top seeds, South Carolina and Stanford, they both dominated on their home courts. That was expected. But what did you think about the how they won those games, Ice?
Yeah, I'll start with South Carolina. I mean, it just was dominant, right? It's what you expect from a one seed that is playing at home, that is trying to make sure that they go into the rest of the tournament with momentum. And so I thought they just finished from start to finish was really good and honestly dominant.
Yeah, I thought for South Carolina, too, seeing them play well on both ends of the court. They had offensive balance, offensive diversity. They hit from three. That was part of what they needed to improve coming into the season. They did that. And, of course, their defense also doubled down on it, was stifling, and a 52-point win. I mean, a lot of things had to go right.
Yeah.
What did you think about Stanford's win?
Cameron Brink and, Kiki Iriafen continue to motor this team. Hannah Jump had some big points from outside. This was huge for Stanford to come in and set the tone and carry it through.
Yeah, I mean, the big challenge is making sure they get out of Maples Pavilion. Obviously, they dropped the ball last season in the second round. So it's always mental for Stanford. Super talented, and they are so anchored inside. Keep an eye, and we all know about Cameron Brink, but Kiki Iriafen, I mean, I feel like even more attention. She could really blow up coming out of this tournament. Okay, talking about blow-ups, another takeaway was big comebacks today. Iowa State overcame a 20-point deficit, and Middle Tennessee State came back from down 19. That would make the second and third largest comebacks in tournament history, respectively.
All in one day.
All in one day. It was
on the first day.
First day. It was historic. And you know what? Actually, in our preview show earlier, both of you called these two teams out. Cass, you called the Cyclones your tournament darlings. Freshman Audi Crooks had 40 points. She only missed twice, going 18 for 20 from the field. What's your top takeaway from your tournament darlings and this victory they were able to get?
What an impressive way to come out in your debut. Could you imagine playing your first NCAA tournament game? You only missed 2 shots. Crazy. I mean, for Audie Crooks, I think the big thing was she had that interview post-game. Bill Fennelly had told them, if this is how you want to go out, okay. Right. But she reacted to that. The freshman came out, put up 40. Huge game for her to lead Iowa State. I think that'll carry through, potentially going up against Stanford.
And 36 of those 40 points are in the paint. You look at a team coming back from down 20. They've got 5 freshmen on the team. That's really a lot of mental resilience to be able to stick through and do that. And afterwards, there was Audi was there talking to the press and the media, and she talked about centering herself through prayer and reflection of her father, who passed away when she was 16. And I felt that was really moving for such a young player to be able to step up and play so big in her first ever tournament game and come out in that kind of way. So that was impressive to me. I know we gave you flowers earlier, but let's do it again.
Again.
Our upset queen, the one and only upset that happened today, you called it. What's your biggest takeaway from Middle Tennessee State in getting the upset over Louisville?
Yeah, you love an 11-6 upset. Honestly, when I saw this team a couple of weeks ago, I literally just said they're going to be tough to beat in the tournament because they are disciplined and they are balanced and they have a well-balanced scoring attack. I was really impressed, though, with Savannah Willers. She's a Conference USA Player of the Year, but she scored 20 in the second half out of 22. You just talk about seniors, veterans, willing your team to victory when it counts most. Like, the stars come out at this point in March, and I just thought she was fantastic. And I'm excited to see how they fare against LSU.
I know, and they're coming in red hot against LSU. They've won now 20 games in a row, has Middle Tennessee State. On the other side of that, another takeaway from this day, the defending champions in LSU, they had a lackluster start. Would you agree with that word, lackluster start for their tournament? In fact, actually, it was Kim Mulkey who post-game said that they played selfish and had a bad showing. I mean, she said it was poor. How worried are you guys about LSU?
Yeah, my biggest thing is just the season high in turnovers. This is the wrong time to have the season high in turnovers, right? You want it in points, you want it in rebounds, you don't want it in turnovers. And so simple for me is just them taking care of the basketball. They are not going to be able to advance the way that they want to if they don't take care of the basketball. I tell you what, Middle Tennessee State is going to value that ball. You turn it over 24 times, it's 24 threes that are going up.
They had more turnovers than they had made field goals, did LSU. What about you? How worried are you about LSU?
I am worried. I know we had talked earlier, but to your point, this LSU team knows how to bounce back from losses. They've dropped about 100 points each time they've lost. When they had those back-to-back losses in January, they dropped 106 on Florida. Obviously, second round of the tournament looks a little different, but we saw some quotes come out after the game, and Angel Reese said she's angry, of course. She's going to be worked up tomorrow at their practice ahead of that game, and freshman Michaela Williams was asked about it. She said, quote, "It's good for us. I wouldn't necessarily say it's good for anybody else." So this team should come out hungry, and I think that's positive.
Yeah, Angel Reese had a tough shooting night, 1 for 7 from the field. Still ended up with 10 points, a double-double with 19 rebounds. So I definitely commend the way she stayed with a tough, high adversity game, continued to work on the glass. In March, all you got to do is win one in advance. Sometimes it's not pretty. Sometimes it's ugly. Sometimes it's gritty. And you know what? That shows you the heart of a champion. So I got one more top takeaway, guys. And it's that I'm working with rock stars. And I can't wait to team up with you guys for another jam-packed day of hoops. Make sure you rock with us at Yahoo Sports for day 2.